Hello, in this video we are going to talk about how to play pocket aces. If you are thinking that playing pocket aces is easy, then this video is definitely for you. Let's start. Okay, first, pre-flop strategy for pocket aces. The standard raise, 2-3 times the big blind. We need to isolate opponents and build the pot. So, if you are trying to trap, don't do it. You need to raise and to re-raise. If you face a 3 bet, you need to 4 bet. I will tell you why. You don't want opponents to be limping. Let's say there are 5 players and they all limp to any raise or to aggression, and you let them limp, then your equity decreases significantly. Let's say there is ace king, someone with ace king, someone with queen jack, someone with 7 8 suited, etc., etc. Now anyone can hit a straight, anyone can hit a flush, anyone can hit 2 pairs. So your equity decreases significantly. You want only one player to face you playing pocket aces. And if this doesn't happen, because not always you have control over that, then you need to know how to play the spot. Then you are not the favorite. You cannot be as aggressive as if you are playing only one opponent. Also, you don't want the other player denying your equity. Let's say he have he has kings, queens, jacks. You raise, he 3 bets you, you call. Now you give him a chance. If he has pocket tens and the 10 didn't come, he will just see that you are so aggressive and he will just fold if he's a pro player. If the 10 comes, he will get you all in. So, in the long run, if you play 10 hands like this, they will extract value from you, but you will not be able to extract value from them. This is the most important concept in poker, which is denying your equity. You don't want players to deny your equity, which is which leads us to the third point, which is calling considerations. Avoid calling in multi-way pots unless necessary. You have to 4 bet. Now, now flop play. So, board assessment. For sure, you want to see if there are draws, if there are flushes already there, if there are straights, and you need to know how aggressive you want to be. You don't want to be like the same aggressive when the board is dry. When it's dry, for example, you can be aggressive, but also it depends on what type of opponent you have, which lets us to point three opponent adjustments. So basically, on an opponent who is aggressive, you have to be aggressive. But on a loose passive player, for example, you have to be slowly. You have to play slowly, because he may call your small bets like 20%, 30% bets, but he may fold when he sees so much aggression. But a tight player, for example, a tight aggressive player, he is already strong from the start, so he may call your aggression. So your continuation betting needs to be about 50-70% of the pot. You have to apply pressure to protect your strong hand. If the other player has king, queen of hearts, and the flop has one heart, you don't want him to see the turn which will come maybe a heart. Now he has a strong draw. That's why you have to bet 56 to 70% of the pot. Okay, so here we in the fourth point we need to decide between checking for deception or betting for value. Betting for value when the board is is not dry. When it's dry, you can check for deception. Your aces are very strong. Let's say you made a set with your aces. Now you can check for deception. You can trap. Your hand is so strong. You don't need to be aggressive and make them fold. Maybe you get a full house on the flop. For sure, you want to trap. Don't want to be aggressive here. Okay, now turn strategy. Of course, you need to evaluate the turn cards, assess the texture of the board, identify potential threats and opportunities. Did he call when there is a flush draw and the flush completes on the turn? You still need to be aggressive, but now you need to adjust your aggressiveness. You need to control the pot now. So you need to decide betting size based on the turn. You need to consider opponent ranges. Is he a tight aggressive player? Is he in it? If he is in it, for example, and the flush appears on the flop and turn, it may not scare you as if you are playing against a loose player. So on the turn, you need to think so much. You need to assess what you have and act based on this. On the river, value betting, maximize value from strong hands, and target weaker ranges for higher profits. Of course, so if it depends on what's your read on your opponent. Bluff catching, if there is aggressive bets, you may just call to catch his bluff. And of course, depending on your opponents, you should have a clear read on your opponent based maybe on past play with him, and then you can make your final decisions based on the board and based on the aggression level and based on the past play with him. So the important thing is this slide, which is equity denial. You have to be aggressive, have aggressive betting in order to make them have difficult decisions. So if they are weak, they may call your all in, for example, just because you are aggressive, and they mistake you for bluffing. Opponent isolation, very important from the start, and realizing equity, prevent opponents from capitalizing on their hand strength. Limit their ability to see cheap turns and rivers. This is the most important thing when playing aces. So, in this slide, we have range balancing, maintain a balanced range, avoid predictability. So, if you play always aces so aggressive and with weaker hands, you play, for example, you limp so much, etc., then you are predictable. So, you need to balance your range. Sometimes, for example, ace 7 suited, you play it aggressively, pre-flop, 4 betted, no problem. Don't be afraid. Do it. And it depends on what you are playing. Are you playing, for example, Russian cash on GG Poker, or are you playing on a standard one table with opponents all night, for example, for 10, 12 hours? So you need to take advantage of range balancing when playing on a one table with opponents that are playing with you all the time. So you have to incorporate bluffs in order for your aces to work. If, for example, your aggressive factor is, let's say, it's about 10%, and now you have aces, and you raise, they will not call you. They know that you are not aggressive enough. Let's say that your three bet frequency is about 5%, and now you four bet to 50 big blinds. They will get out of there, even if they have committed 20 big blinds, for example, to the pot. So you have to incorporate bluffs, be aggressive, do all of these things so that you are not predictable. So the last point, which is that tendency analysis, of course, use insights to inform decisions. Maybe have put some comments on players, what did they do sometimes, which hands do they like, etc. All of these things can be so insightful when playing pocket aces, or any other hands also. So, as we see, the common mistakes is overplaying. When there is a flush, for example, let's say there are three jacks on the flop. Now, there may be there may be a case where he has, for example, ace jack, queen jack, king jack, etc. Underplaying, this is the most important mistake. You need to check it, and opponent adjustment. So you need to modify your strategy based on the reactions and based on past play with them. So, of course, bet sizing, adjust bet sizing based on your opponent tendencies, maximize value. Opponent breeds, look for exploitable weaknesses. Is he a calling station? Is he so aggressive? Does he like to bluff? Let him bluff, especially if the board is not so it's dry, for example. So this is a summary of the pocket aces strategy. Pre-flop play, raise to build the pot. Flop strategy, c-bet to protect your hand. Turn tactics, assess opponent's ranges. River decisions, value bet against weaker hands. Equity denial, force opponents to fold. This is the end of the video. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope it was beneficial for you. Thank you. Bye-bye.